Hi everyone, we'll be looking at forearm stands today. So I had a couple of requests about this asana and I thought I'll just put together a video with all the drills that I used to help me achieve the pose. So I hope that you found it useful. Please let me know in the comments as well. So we'll make a little bit of a start now. I don't particularly think that this pose is for beginners. So if you are a beginner, I'm really sorry it's not catered for you that much. But you can still play around with some of the strengthening drills. So it doesn't mean that you can definitely not do anything from the class, all right? So let's give it a go. We'll come to a fours. Let's get a little bit warmed up. So tabletop. So then nice open palms. Let's take a couple of cat-cows. So inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, round everything in. Inhale and arch. Exhale and round. Nice, take it with your own pace. Two more. Good, and come back to all fours. So we're going to start warming up the wrists as well. Not that we're going to have a lot of pressure there, but we're also going to warm up the forearms as well. So we're going to start moving forward and back. Good. Now fingertips will face the sides, going side to side. And fingertips will face you. And then you can either hold here or you can start to sit back. So here you should be feeling the forearms stretching a little bit. Deep breaths. Try and let go of anything that might hold tension. Slowly come back to a fours, and now fingertips will face you, but the top of the outside of the palm will face the mat. Now we're just going to go forward and back ever so slightly again. Good. Good. And now you can just place the palms down. So they should be feeling quite brand new. So they might feel already quite warm. All right. So from here, we'll just start warming up the spine a little bit more before we move on to a couple of drills. So the next one that we'll do, we'll just come to a downward facing dog. So lift up to your dog. If this is the first one of the day, you can start bending one knee then the other. And whenever you're ready, you can just find stillness. So relax the neck. You can give it a bit of a shake. You can bend the knees even more. And then think about shooting the hips as high up as you can. And even making that connection between the belly and the thighs. Good, deep breaths. Last one. Good. When you're ready, bend the knees. We're going to walk the palms to meet the feet. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fall all the way down. So again, you can bend and extend the knees here as much as you want. Good. So today I'm quite close to the wall and the door, as you can probably see. So we're going to use it a bit later. So if you want, you can just rearrange your mat now so you can be close to the wall. And I also have a couple of blocks near me. So we'll be using at least one. So if you have blocks, please grab them as well. Good. And relax. Whenever you're ready, bend the knees. We're going to roll all the way up to standing. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come to inchworms. So what we'll do, we're going to roll down when you're ready, and then as soon as the palms hit the floor, walk it forward, hold plank, walk it back, and roll all the way up. Get ready, we're going to speed it up. Round, all the way down, walk it, plank, hold, walk it back, roll up. Let's speed it up. Roll down, plank, hold, walk back, come up. Let's do two more. Roll, walk plank, hold, come back, and roll. And last time, roll down, walk it to plank, hold, walk back, and roll. Nice work. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to roll down, come to a plank, we're going to hold here. Now, I don't want you to be pushing the hips up or arching the back, so I want to have a nice long line. If you have seen my crow video as well, what I'd like for you to do is start to push, so you're rounding the upper back. Good. Deep breaths. And place the knees down and come back to a child's pose. You can relax the forehead down onto the mat for a little while. Catch your breath. Good. Now, moving forward, tuck the toes under. So we're going to just hover the knees. And then from here, inhale here, exhale plank. Good. Inhale to that child's pose. Exhale plank. 3 more. Inhale, push back. Exhale plank. Inhale, push back. Exhale plank. Last one, inhale. Exhale, meet me in a plank and hold. So we're going to start using the forearms a little bit. So right forearm down, then left, then right palm, left palm. Let's do that. We're going to do 5 on each side. So let's go for the right, down, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good. Keep it going. This is 3, 4, and 5. And pause. And the other side. Left, right, right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And hold it plank. Knees down, child's pose. side out. So we're warming up the whole body. So we start off with the wrists, forearms, arms, core, legs. So everything is super engaged when we're in an inversion. And especially in forearm stand, you really need the lower abs to help you control the lower back arching. You need the forearms to be nice and strong and the shoulders. So I'm just making sure we're going to hit all of those movements. So the next one, if you have a block, grab it so you have it near you. So what we'll do here, if you are familiar with dolphin pose, we'll go to that one. So what I like for you to do is, if you come to a tabletop first, and then place your right elbow where your right palm is, and then the left elbow where your left palm is. And then from here, try and see if you can touch the opposite elbows, and then place the palms facing forward down. So you want your forearms to be parallel to one another. Okay, so like always, I would advise to probably have a nice wide base with the fingers. And again, that grip as well. It's very important, especially when you're upside down. Using the fingers and being able to sort of push forward and back really helps with the balance. And then from here, we're going to keep the gaze between the fingers in front of you. So if you look down, you're going to go down. So I'd probably start focusing on gazing forward. Now tuck the toes under. And when you're ready, we're going to push back to downward facing dog legs. So we're just gonna hold here for a moment. Okay, so if your neck is hurting, you can just relax it and you can gaze towards the toes. If you want to just start getting used to the feeling of gazing forward, you can do that as well. So what I'd like for you to do here is press down on the elbows and the forearms as hard as you can, so you can keep that chest nice and wide and lifted. If this is quite easy, you can walk it forward, and then the next step would be for you to also try and get the heels down. If not, don't worry, you can always bend the knees. Lift the hips up as high as you can. And hold. Deep breaths. Good, so now we're going to walk it to a forearm plank and hold. Lift the hips up. We're going to walk it to a dolphin and hold. I know it's hard work, but we're gonna do 5, so 4 more. Let's do it. Walk to a forearm plank and push the hips back. Walk to a dolphin. 3 more. Walk to a forearm plank. Push back, dolphin. Good. Walk to plank and dolphin. Last one, plank and dolphin. And knees down. Child's pose. God, that was hard work. Deep breaths. And you can come back to a kneel. So the reason why we're doing this drill, so it sort of gives you the opportunity to see what it feels like to have some weight onto the forearms and also the shoulders. And then as you're walking it back to a plank and back up, it really works the core, works the quads. and you can feel that constant pressure on the other muscles that you will have when you're upside down. If it is quite hard for you at this stage, I wouldn't go as low in the plank or as high in the dolphin, and I wouldn't bring my legs in the dolphin as close in. I'd bend the knees as well if it's an issue, and I would take more rest breaks in between. So if it is quite hard, don't worry. These drills today are going to be quite intense. I'm already out of breath, as you can hear as well. Okay, so there is one more that we can do from a downward facing dog, and it's for the shoulders. So we'll go on and have a look at that one. So when you're ready, downward facing dog. Take a moment. Good. So for this one, for one of the few times, I will get my elbows out and we're going to do a press up here. So it is a little bit more focused on the shoulders. So what I do, I can look forward towards my palms. Elbows will come out. I'll press almost like the head is going to touch down and come up. Okay, so let's go for 10 if possible. Take a rest break if you need it. Pause the video if you want. So elbows out, touch the head. Come back up, good. Keep a nice strong core. Touch the head. That's 2. This is 3. Let's do it, guys. You got this. This is 4. 5. Halfway. 6. 7. 8. 2 more. 1 and 2. And hold down facing dog. Relax the neck. Good. Nice. So, in the same fashion as you have your arms externally rotating here in a downward facing dog, that's going to be the case when you're also in a forearm stand. So the next drill, bear with me, it's gonna come now. So from a downward facing dog, relax the neck. We're going to wrap the arms around, and now this time the elbows will come down with us, almost like you're doing chaturanga or tricep press-ups. They're gonna come down, touch the mat, and come up. So it's gonna go dolphin, downward facing dog, dolphin, downward facing dog. So we'll do 10. So I'll show you 1 and then I'll start counting. So wrap the arms around. You can gaze forward if you want. And then elbows will come with me. They're gonna touch down. They're gonna come up. Okay? So if you want to make it harder, obviously, step in. If you want a little bit easier, widen that stance. Okay, so let's do 10 together. So wrap the arms around. You can gaze forward if you want. Forearms down, dolphin, and downward facing dog. Good. Dolphin, downward. Still keep pressing the hips back, by the way. You can also soften the knees. Dolphin, downward. That's 3. Let's speed it up a bit. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. And 10. Downward, relax the neck. Bring the knees down, child's pose. If you want to relax the arms, by the way, you can also bring them by your side, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders here. Forehead down onto the mat. Relax the crease between the eyebrows. You can maybe shake the hips from side to side. And slowly make your way to kneeling. Good, so everything should be feeling quite warm in the upper body. So if you found this one to be quite hard, we can also do one more set. I know you hate me, but bear with me. While squeezing the block. So imagine that I'm on all fours now, coming into my dolphin. Oops. Right, so I'm in my dolphin here, and then I press, and I come down. So what this does, you can even just practice here, by the way, if you want. What this does is basically making you aware of pressing and squeezing the arms into one another. So I think one of the difficulties of holding the pose is that when we get too tired, we just splay the elbows wide. So as soon as you're upside down and you go like this, you go down, right? So the more that you can keep the elbows in, wrapping the arms externally, and the more that you can squeeze towards one another, the more it will help you to stabilize your base. So grab your block if you have one. If not, cushion. So you can always sort of tug it this way. So I know this one in particular, it's quite big for what we want to do. But if you have a smaller one, or if you have maybe a couple of towels, you can always squeeze those together as well. Or if you have a Pilates little ball, that will be very useful actually. So grab your block. Come to your setup. So tabletop first, neutral spine, and then forearms down. Now, even from here, open the palm wide, press down into the forearms and the elbows, and start to engage the core and also round the upper back. So even here, I can feel everything engaging. Next thing, squeeze the block in between the arms. So you should be feeling already all the small muscles around the shoulders. So this is enough. You can stay here, and that will teach you how to stabilize all those muscles there. If you want a bit more, we're going to be squeezing the block there, coming into your downward facing dog legs, right? So we're in a dolphin. Squeeze the block, see if you can lift it off the floor. Come to downward dog. Bring it all back down. Good. Let's do 10. Let's go. Lift up and down. That's 1. Up and down. That's 2. 3. 4. Halfway. You got this. 6. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. And 10. And rest. So if the block was falling down and you had to sort of wrap the arms around and bring it back up again, that's fine. You're still working all the same muscles. Maybe you wanted to take a break in between these as well. As long as you wrap, press into one another, lift the block, you're there. So good work. It is very tiring. So let's get a bit of a stretch. If you have one block, that's fine. If you have no block, that's fine. I'll show you different options, okay? No block. From all fours, I would place right elbow where the right palm was, left elbow where the left palm was, hands in prayer. And then I'm going to sit back onto my heels, relax the head down, and the prayer hands will come behind me. If you want to make the stretch more intense, press down onto the mat with the elbows. One block, you can do the same. I have 2. So I will just place my elbows there, bring the neck through, sit back, press down with my elbows, and hands will come behind. Deep breaths wherever you are. Shoulder opening is also very important in forearm stand and handstands as well. You want to be able to have your arms right next to the ears. And in forearm stand, if you want different variations later down the line, you want to be able to bring the chest through. And release. Okay, so the other thing that we'll do here, let's have a little look. If you lift the arms above the head, if you can, wrap the arms around so even the pinky fingers are facing one another, and you want to be able to still maintain a neutral spine and not arch to compensate. Still neutral spine. See if you can maybe bring the arms by your ears. So if you can't, I would advise you to look at stretching out the shoulders a little bit more. And there are many stretches for it as well. Deep breaths here. I know everything is shaking. And relax the arms. Take a moment to close the eyes, take a break. You can roll the shoulders back if you want. And forward. Good, you can even take a neck stretch here if you want. And the other side. And relax back to center. So we're going to look at giving it a go. So I'm not going to just go, be free, and you're just on your own in the middle of the room. We're going to use the wall. So this is why I came here. I have a door. If you have a wall, go for it. So what we'll do here, I will get my bum back to touch the wall. Okay, so legs are extended. So I'm going to make a mental note of where my heels were, and that's where I'm going to set up my base. So just keep that note there. Come to a fours, and the palms will come where the feet were. Now, from here, I'm going to bring my elbows and forearms down. So right elbow where the right palm is, left elbow where the left palm is, and then clasp your opposite elbows and place the palms facing down in front of you. Right, so exactly what we've been doing. Now, think again about rounding the upper back, engaging the little muscles by pressing back. So you're rounding the back there. Good. Wide base with your fingers. Now from here, downward facing dog, and then we're going to come to almost like an L sit. So you want your feet to come up onto that wall. So this is just showing you how to find the balance and engage the core and the lower abs to still keep a neutral spine while pressing into the mat there. So you can hold here. You can come a bit higher up if you want, but still try and keep a nice neutral spine. So I don't want to be arching here. Engage the lower abs. You can start even gazing forward if you want. And relax. Take a break. If you want to make it harder, the closer you go to the wall, the harder it will be, because you would have to lift one leg up or have your hips coming right above your base, so it makes it harder on the core and the arms as well. If you're not feeling 100% confident, I would probably stay where we are now and just lift the legs up a tiny bit. Even that works the core and the arms, as you probably felt it already. Okay, so I'm going to go closer into the wall. Please stay wherever you feel more comfortable. Again, tabletop, sitting up, base. So one form, other form. Touch the opposite ones, place it back down, lift downward facing dog legs, coming up to my wall, and I'm here. I can gaze forward. I can work on being on my right toes and my left leg will come up. So again, I don't want to be arching here. I'm going to try and engage everything. So I have a nice long spine. Another side. Deep breath. Both legs, walk it down, take a break. Good. So next step would be one leg up and then maybe tapping to see if you can get that balance. So I know that your arms are jelly now because mine are as well. So hopefully I'll find balance as well. So forms down, same thing. Set up your base. So you can either do it with me or you can watch me first and pause and give it a go if you want. Up to you. Dolphin. Lift up. So left leg will come up. I'll be gazing forward. Press into the mat. And then I'm going to try to just do little kicks. See how it feels. And see if I can catch any balance there. And as you can see, they're very tiny kicks on the other side. So this is my bad side, by the way. Tiny kicks. And when you're tired, just relax it down, because the more tired you are, the more the elbows will come wide and you'll just end up, just hopping over a little bit. So you can just relax how you prefer for a little while. I'll give you a couple of minutes to give that a go. I'd rather shut this back if you want. And forward. Nice. So let's do a little bit of a stretch before we give one more thing a go. So coming to eagle arms, let me face you. Right arm on top of the left. You want to wrap. If you can't wrap, it can be here. That's also fine. And then from here, we're going to lift the elbows up. Shoulders will come away from the ears. And hold here. Keep lifting up with the elbows. Last breath. And open up. Good, and then left on top of right. Wrap, elbows up, shoulders away from ears. Deep breaths. Last breath. And open up. And relax. Good. Okay. So, the reason why I showed having the legs on the wall is because if you're the other way around and I'm facing the wall, it's easier when you're trying to tap to arch the back, right? So I'll show you an example. So let's say I was here and I wanted to come up, if I can find the balance, there we go, to forearm stand. Then if I'm trying to tap, it's very easy for me to sort of arch there. So if you're having problems, because that's very common if you're quite flexible, I'm hypermobile and that's my weakness, I would probably do what we have been doing already and work from there. Just if you're quite confident and you want to give this one a go, it's also really well. So I would probably start off being as close to the wall as possible, so it's the opposite basically from the other drill, because the closer you are, the less room you have to arch the back. So if I go super close and then I lift the one leg up, I bend the right knee, and I'm trying to just learn to kick. So I'll do it with my bad side as well. Kick, right? So you can stay there. If you wanted, you can try and kick with both legs. So I find that very difficult. So if you go from a single leg, I would walk it in first. Same principle as like a headstand basically. Walk it in first, lift the one leg face forward, and we're kicking. So if you catch that balance, you can then have your heels on the wall and then try and lengthen the spine up, and we're not arching, we're engaging the lower abs to have a nice long line. It's really hard to talk upside down, but that way not only are you staying nice and long, but also you're focusing on tucking the tailbone under, but you're still holding that inversion and you're still gonna feel it in your forearms and your shoulders. So that's a really good way. So obviously, the easier that gets, and you want to make it harder for yourself, you'll start walking away from the wall. The only problem with that is obviously you might tend to arch. So for me, if I arch, there's no going back. It's really hard for me to bring that back. So if that's the case, you give it a couple of goes, you keep arching and you're tired, leave it at that, I'd say. Maybe do a little bit of a few core exercises, take a few twists, and leave it at that for the time being, and then you can always come back and practice everything again. So I'll show you what it would be like to do it away from the wall as well, or even in the middle of the mat. So I'm going to quickly recap. We're on all fours tabletop, neutral spine, tucking the tailbone under. Right elbow will come to the right palm, left elbow, left palm. So left clasp, opposite elbows place, palms facing down, wide base. From here, gaze forward between the palms, lift, downward facing dog legs, walk it in, keep gazing forward, lift one leg, bend the other, kick up. You can even bend that knee, and that also really helps to engage the lower abs if you have one knee stacked. So you can still keep kicking, and you can touch the wall like so. When you're comfortable, you can learn to shoot up as well. And then you can always stretch out the shoulders as well in between. And we'll go on to the other side, even though I'm very reluctant because it's gonna be quite bad. It's my bad side. So always train both sides, guys, because I didn't do it and I'm really struggling. So same thing, sit up, gaze forward, lifting the right leg now. You can walk in a little bit more if you want. Lift the right leg, softly bend the left, try and kick. You can maybe keep the front leg in. That can help to catch some air time. There we go. And then later, you're trying to also press the chest through the arms. And relax. Come to kneeling if you want. So these are the drills that helped me to achieve the pose. And then once you get used to it, you can start to press the chest through. So you can also practice that while you have your feet on the wall. Being on all fours and then bringing the chest through. So that also, requires you to shift the gaze. So I will just leave it until I'm quite comfortable just holding it up there. So I also, as you saw, it's easier for me with a bendy back I'll show you like this because my forearms are dead. It's easier for me when I come up to kick and have one knee in to my chest. So stag legs basically, just because it helps to still engage the lower abs there. So you can practice with that instead of having both legs up as well. Now, I do get this question quite often when people clasp the arms and the here and they come to a forearm stand. I know that a lot of people have learned forearm stands that way, pushing up from a headstand. I haven't. I will go over it just so you have an idea. I wouldn't necessarily be the biggest fan just because it teaches you to close up, whereas once you're there, it's nicer for you to have a nice wide chest. And then if you want to move on to back bends or Scorpio or whatever, that requires you to have a wide chest to then be able to bend back, if that makes sense. Because if you're here, it's much harder for you to go there, and it can actually cause injuries in the shoulders.